Okay.
Hi Beasties, this is Karin
I'm Janeen.
and we're on a mission this week. We weren't going to film any more videos.
No.
But we felt so strongly about filming this one over the last few days that we decided to get together to have a chat with you guys about what we're seeing on social media. So I guess this message at the end of the day is almost like a call to arms,
Yeah.
a call to solidarity, a call to being a loving fandom, a call to being a thoughtful fandom that has
Respectful.
enormous respect for everybody, including the cast, the writers and the producers on Beauty and the Beast.
And each other.
And each other. We've seen some horrendous things on social media this week. The last straw for me came a couple of nights ago when Amber, who plays Tori, had put up a picture of some directors' chairs that they sit on the set. She was trying to engage with Beasties, trying to get them, I guess, a little bit personal. And the hate that she got back staggered me, absolutely staggered me. I sat there reading some of the stuff that was sent to her as a response, and I could have cried. I really could have cried, because I thought as grown women, we're better than that.
Yeah.
And, we're still, some of the Beasties out there are still throwing temper tantrums like 2-year-olds. My 20-year-old daughter looked at some of this stuff, just rose an eyebrow and said, hang on, Mum, aren't they grown women? Well, we think they are, but they haven't been behaving like that, and it hurts us. We're passionate about the show. We love this show so much. And we can see the bigger picture, and my God, I believe I could almost cry. I've been that upset at what I've seen, and I just feel so strongly that we had to talk about this to bring you guys back and to make you realise that you're not always going to love elements of a show, but please don't damage it for us that love it and that see a bigger picture. If you don't like it, that's cool. Don't watch it. You're welcome to switch it off. And do. But please don't spread hate. Please don't spread negativity. You can feel that way, and look, you can talk about it in the privacy of your own groups, or even on Twitter to each other. There's no problem with that. We all have our feelings about aspects of life, but it's this...
The hate.
Yeah, it's this involvement. Sending stuff to Amber because you don't like what her character in the show is doing. Sending stuff to Jay Ryan that's personal, whether it's about his private life or whether it's about what Vincent may or may not be doing. I mean, I've read stuff where, they're accusing Vincent of being an asshole and a womanizer and a whole... Okay, I was trying to be American.
You're an Aussie man.
Yeah, all right, I'm an Aussie.
Arsehole.
And I read some of these and I could just weep.
Yeah.
I just think it's really, really sad. And it's not where we were before. And guess what? When I came to Beauty and the Beast, I sort of watched the first half a dozen episodes thinking, yeah, this isn't bad. But I caught up with some other shows first, came back to it on episode 8, and was able to watch episode 8 all the way through to episode 17 on one Saturday afternoon, back in March or April, whenever it was, and loved it, fell in love with it. And it just got better and better and better and better as the season progressed. And their love story got bigger and more immense and more epic as the season progressed. Guess what? The same thing is going to happen this year. So, anyway, I've started, and before I could keep going for the next half an hour, Janeen, go.
Well, look, all I'm going to say, guys, is that, as you know, Karin and I have both said right from the very beginning, you don't have to like the show. You don't have to agree with where the characters are going, but guys, there is always a bigger picture, and I think that some of us are so, as has been mentioned, involved in it emotionally that we forget to look at what the story's actually about.
Yes, I think we get bogged down.
We get bogged down in our hatred or in the
Mm.
detail of it, or the not liking the Tory character, not liking Gabe's character, and you get so... Look, okay, I read a couple of articles, one by Brad Kern, one by Austin Basis over the last week or so, and in one of them, I'm pretty sure it was Austin that actually said everything they do, everything is about the love for Vincent and Catherine. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I haven't seen those special Vincat moments that we got in season 1.
Yep.
So I don't see the underlying romance that he was talking about. But on the weekend, I was with a very dear friend of mine, and we actually watched episodes 1 through to 4 back to back. And I watched it with this clear set of eyes saying that romance was in everything that they did. And I was actually quite surprised that I saw it. I really saw what Austin was talking about. That's the train. Just telling me that I missed it. So anyway, really, it is a train. I didn't really miss it.
No.
Anyway, so so I went back and watched it with my friend, and I watched it with a clear set of eyes, with a pair of non-judgmental eyes, non-emotional eyes, and was able to actually see all the little things that I had missed as far as the romance was concerned.
Yep.
Vincent was coming back to Catherine, and he was remembering her, and he was becoming the Vincent, the ever, the protector, and everything that he was before that, until Tori came on the scene. Tori has amplified his beast.
Yes, correct.
She's not taken over the love interest where Cat was. She's amplified his beast. So he is losing his humanity. Because, or not losing it, but it's put to the back burner when he's around Tori, because she amplifies his beast.
Yes.
So, knowing that intellectually, I then went back and watched it, as I said, and I could see these bits that I missed the first time.
Yep.
So, and also in season 1, I watched episodes 1 through to 14, I think, non-stop. I had no part of social media. I had no preconceived ideas about what each episode was going to be. I had no theories going around in my head, nothing like that. I was able to watch it unjaded.
Yes, same here.
And with innocence, basically. And I think we all need to remember that season 1 has gone, and from the epicness that it was, season 2 is a different story.
And it's better. It's got the legs to be so much more.
It's got
we just
everything.
have to hold on.
And I know, there's a few good old sayings that I was thinking of about the haters, and I just think if you want to hate, just hate intelligently.
Constructively. There's nothing wrong with disliking something. We all dislike aspects to our lives, but let's be grown up about it. Let's not throw temper tantrums like 2-year-olds and give them a bad name, because look, I was on Twitter a couple of nights ago and had to call a couple of people out and respond to their horrendous.
Because it's just not, actually, you know what, hate is an emotional disease. It really is. Yep. There's haters, there's doubters, there's non-believers, there's all that sort of thing. But guys, if you're suffering this disease of hate, well, I really hope you get better soon. Because, there's no need for it. There's no need to hate as loudly as what you are. You can talk about how much you don't like it. We're not saying don't do that, but don't direct it to the actors directly about the character, and then make it personal to them. Because you know what? At the end of the day, they're just actors.
Paid to do a role. Do we ever? And man, they're doing it well.
Yeah. So well. And imagine if the writers weren't doing a good job, we wouldn't be so emotional about what it is that we're watching.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's come back to what we love about the show. Let's come back to the brilliant acting, to scenes and stories that have you on the edge of your seat, that gets everybody talking, but let's talk about it positively.
Yeah.
Let's go back to being really fabulous with each other and support each other and support the cast and crew who are putting everything out there. I mean, so many of them put so much out there to engage with us, and it's fantastic. It gets to a point, I'm sure, where actors are going to get called by their agents to say, oh, we've got a part for you coming up on Beauty and the Beast.
No, thanks,
and the actor's going to go, are you kidding me?
No thanks, don't want it. Are you serious? I get hate tweets. No thanks. Really, guys.
Over directors' chairs with characters' names on them.
When you stop and think about it, right, the haters are broadcasters. They'll broadcast the faders loud and clear, right? But the likers will only whisper it.
Yeah.
So
funny how that works.
We're here to prove them wrong, because we are likers. We are Team Vincent. We're Team Catherine. We're Team BATB. We're Team Austin. Team Tess. Team. Oh God, I'm using everyone's fake names, real names. You know what I mean? Like we're yay for the team and yay for the actors of the characters that we fell in love with. And I'm going to share I spoke to you earlier about what my change of thought about Catherine shooting Vincent.
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay. Now this thought came to me after I went back and watched eps 1 through 4 with a clean set of eyes. At first there was a lot of talk about the fact that Catherine shot Vincent because it was instinctive, and all of this reasoning why she shot it.
Saving her father over Vincent.
She chose her father. You know what, guys? I actually think that Catherine saved Vincent by not letting him kill her father. I don't think it had anything to do with her father. I think he was just happened to be the tool that was there at the time. Because if you think about it, Catherine knows and understands that Tori has amplified Vincent's beast and that he is losing his humanity when he's around her.
Yes.
She knows that he is such a person who is into humanity, who is into caring for others and making sure that people are safe when they're in danger, etc., etc.
That Vincent does the right
That
thing.
Vincent does the right thing all the time. That by killing Catherine's father in cold blood out of revenge is something that the Vincent who was coming back to her would not be able to live with.
Exactly.
So instead of letting him kill her father, she shot him to prevent him from doing so. Now, if that's not in-your-face love, because you don't want your person, the man that you're in love with, to feel that sort of guilt when you've got to carry the guilt that you shot him, come on, man, if that's not love, what is? Honestly.
Because the Vincent we saw in episode 6 of season 1, who didn't feel worthy, how unworthy would he feel
if he,
as his humanity starts to come back to realise, oh my God, I killed her father. All right, he deserved it, but I still killed her father. That wouldn't make him feel worthy.
No,
and
of her.
He'd have to carry that. And every time he looks at her and sees her looking at him, he's always going to wonder that, you know, I killed her father, and I don't know that I can cope with that. So
instead,
I can see where you're coming from, and I really like that point.
She's prepared to carry the guilt of shooting him, then let him, because she loves him that much, then let his humanity have the guilt of shooting her father. And that thought came to me looking at, knowing Kat knows that Tori is amplifying his beast, knowing that Vincent was coming back to her. He even said it before he killed Tori's dad, that when she asked him, you've only got 2 beasts, don't you feel guilty? And he said, I don't like, words to the effect of, it's bothering me more now than it did.
Yes.
So there was a sign that our Vincent was coming back.
Yep.
So along comes Tori, along comes the amplification of the beast, along comes the lack of emotion. Catherine, knowing that if there's any hope of bringing him back, the only way to do that was to stop him from killing in cold blood. Now, man, that's love, that's sacrifice.
Yeah, and look, the other thing that I've read in Brad Kern's interviews is that, look, okay, there will be other people perhaps that may turn their heads for an episode or 2, but it won't last.
No.
They're really just tools. Let's face it, if you get together, you've had a bit of a bust up, you get together with somebody else, it will often make you realise what you had before was so much better.
Yeah.
And it's a case of, you know, okay, Catherine and Gabe may get a bit closer, but what I feel is that Catherine, as a result of that, will realise and just wake up and go, well, you know what?
But didn't Brad Kern say that the Kat and Gabe side, if it was to happen, would have to happen organically?
Yes.
Well, there's not enough time for that because, guys, Catherine's love is Vincent. So Gabe, she doesn't have time to organically... To give her, she doesn't have the time to give to the Gabe to let that happen naturally on its own.
Because we know there's going to be more hostage situations, more drama,
that sort of
more
stuff.
angst. There's going to be so much edge of your seat.
There's going
suspense.
to be so much good stuff happening.
You were about to say something else, weren't you?
I was about to say something, and I just got a whiff of the Nivea that I sprayed on you before.
Excuse us for a second. This is Nivea for men.
Nice.
And there are certain actors on certain shows who wear it, apparently.
Jane Ryan, all right, I'll give it up.
Well, I wasn't going to.
Okay.
Now, Beasties, we have it on very reliable sources that came in, and I just wanted to read out this statement to you guys because I think it's important.
It's very exciting.
It is. As mentioned, from very reliable sources, if people give the show a second chance and hold on to see the season arc, there are some crazy episodes, revelations and discoveries that come that may just change Beasties' minds. Just because Kat and Vincent share a love that is true doesn't mean that it's easy. So it's true love. It will be back. Like I said, I have a theory about that. Episode 15.
I think it's episode 12.
Yeah, we just saw Wilma. Hi, Wilma.
Hi, Wilma.
Beasties International. We just saw your post on Facebook talking about the fact that Austin had tweeted that we Beasties are going to be very happy with episode 12.
I don't think I'll be back.
And that it's around February
it's either
the
that
10th.
or Tori's character leaves one or the other.
And Amber, we do love you.
Yes.
we love you a lot, as it
Yes.
turns out.
Yes.
And
Love your single too, by the way. It's very good.
I haven't heard it
I
yet.
listened to it for a while. Oh my
Okay.
god, it's starting to rain.
That's all right. We don't mind getting a little bit wet.
Yeah.
But
But I just,
that episode,
yeah.
and it's going to air on around about February the 10th, which puts it very close to Valentine's Day. Liking the sound of that. I still think it's going to lead up to that extra 3 episodes, and episode 15 is going to give us our Vincat. That's my theory,
But
and I'm sticking to it.
one thing that our other source did go on to say as well is that our emotions are taken hold so
Yes.
strongly
Yes.
that
We're blinded by
we're
them.
blinded by them, that we may have missed some of the romance that we were looking for, because we're all looking for those Vincat moments that we had in season 1. This is season 2, guys. It's not season 1 anymore.
Yep.
So those Vincat moments are there. They're just different this time. You know, it's like you have your one and only true love, and then something happens. You're not together, and you think, I'm never going to love anyone again like I love him. And you know what? You never do. But it means that you love the next time differently and more intellectually. So we have to look at season 2 as the one that's come after the epic love, but we're going to love them too, just differently.
Yep.
Look at it from... Did that make sense at all? It did in my head. Anyway.
Kind of,
No, in my head.
Look, he is a different. He's the same, but he's different in season 2.
And everything
So
that's
she's-
happened to him, he can't be the same Vincent that he was in season 1.
So she's falling in love. She'll fall in love with him again. Well, she's already pretty much in love with him, but she just has to learn how to navigate.
And did you read
different
that,
Vincent?
that article that Austin said that the reason for Tori and Tori's character is going to come to light in the next couple of episodes?
I did like
that.
that.
If it wasn't for her,
Yeah.
that greater mythology of Catherine and Vincent wouldn't be known.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, guys, we have to wait for Tori's character. We knew that there was always a bigger purpose for her. We've got to wait for Tori's character to reveal what it is that she's bringing to the show before we start hating her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't hate her, but, you know, at the end of the day, this video is just to say, guys, if you don't like the show, then just switch off.
Yeah, exactly. Don't don't spoil it for us that just sit there and want to weep at some of the things that we're
And don't
reading
be
and some of the things that
disrespectful.
we're seeing.
Don't be disrespectful to the people. I live by that creed of do unto others as you would have others do unto you. If you wouldn't be mean to someone, don't be mean to...
If you don't want
If you
them,
don't want
to
them to be mean to you, don't be mean to them.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
always stuck that up. I know what I'm trying to say.
I know, it's in
inside
our
my
heads.
brain.
This has just been going around in circles for the last few days.
I'm a lot smarter until I open my mouth. Seriously. What goes on in here is so much smarter than what comes out.
So we just wanted to take the time to hopefully instill just some etiquette, let's go about this in such nice ways, please.
We're asking you to please curb the nastiness, curb the direct, mean, spiteful quotes to the actors, to the characters. Just think about what you're doing, guys, because, you know, social media is so loud and can cause so many problems that
That's
we
what
just don't
worries
need
me.
it to. We don't need these sort of things, and we don't want Beasties to be known as rabid Beasties who could, you know,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm hating the haters, but, you know, I'm trying to do it respectfully. I'm not calling anyone out. We're not naming or shaming, although I'm happy to do it. No, we're not naming or shaming. We're just asking, guys, please, just, and, you know, if you can string words together, like some of the haters can string the most beautiful words together.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
And it amazes me that this hate comes out. I just don't understand where it comes from, because the way one person in particular can put words together, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The talent behind her words is, she should be a writer, if she's not. But the hate, I don't understand.
Use
I don't
your
understand it.
powers for good rather than evil beasties, because there's some fabulously talented beasties out there. We've uncovered so many. Okay. Well, it's done now, and we've come too far. But look, as mentioned, I know we all get very emotional, and, you know, when we get very emotional, we can say and do the wrong thing. And
Which I probably just did.
Okay, we'll rewind and go back to the fact that
we can't take it back. It's out there.
We love this fandom. I mean, look at what's happening in the voting for the PCAs.
Go Beasties.
Some of you've got to come.
I'm coming. I've just got to move. I'm on an angle. Sorry.
Okay. The voting is going phenomenally well. We have a real chance of this. And we just don't want, chances of season 3 to be spoiled by a divisive fandom.
Yeah.
That is finding itself a little bit at loggerheads at the moment.
Just hang in there, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's some awesome stuff to come.
Yeah, from the things that have been let out of the bag, like the few interviews that are happening, the good stuff's coming. In episode 1, we didn't, I honestly didn't get hooked until about episode 8 or 9 from season 1. I think maybe it's just the same thing this time. We've just got to reevaluate. Try and look at it through another set of eyes this time. Look, go back and watch the episodes without the judgment, without the hate, without the comparisons to season 1.
That's where social media, I'm finding, I didn't have the social media for the first 17 episodes either. I just watched them pretty much all in one hit.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that we're all dissecting and we're getting together in our groups and we're being fantastic invested fans for both positive and negative, that it's taking away our enjoyment of just sitting and watching
this epic show.
An epic television show that has
did
you on
need
the edge
more
of your
of
seat.
Did need more JT in it.
Oh yeah. We always go back to you, Austin.
But evidently
you're
coming. I mean, you're going to be in it more.
Oh, there was a tweet that I did see that I absolutely loved that was tweeted to Nina Lisandrello voting for the PCAs, and he was voting for her to win the category of actress most likely to have JT's baby.
How cute.
And
I want JT's baby though.
And her response was something along the lines of, I don't recall seeing that category.
Yeah, go
So look, you can have fun. You can have such fun with the actors and actresses.
And they are very responsive. I mean, they're happy to just give them happy vibes. Everyone.
Yeah, exactly. What's always the expression been that you can attract more flies with
honey
than you can with vinegar?
No more bees with honey
than with vinegar. As soon, like I know me, if I'm going to get something that's fairly hateful, I'm just going to go, okay, I don't want to know this person because they're not acting in a way that I'm going to respond to positively, and I'm just not going to have anything to do with them. Well, and I can see why some of the actors might sit there, read some of the social media that's directed to them personally and go, okay, then I think I might just put this away and not get onto social media for a little while. You think?
Yeah,
absolutely. So
I had a fleeting thought and I was going to say it, but I can't remember what it is now.
It was that fleeting, it flitted straight out.
Straight through.
Straight through to the keeper.
I was surprised it didn't smack you in the face.
Yes, I know. Well, I think we've pretty much covered it. We just want to say, hey, listen, let's just go full steam ahead, positively, constructively, with respect, with etiquette, to get us to season 3, to get us to wait for that epic love that we know
Hang in there, guys.
is there underlying everything that they're doing. And I suspect that within a few episodes there's going to be, a lot of beasties going, oh my God, why did I ever get so upset?
And in the interim, between now and January 13th, Happy New Year.
Ah, yes.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
What was
Bar
that?
humbug and Merry Christmas is what I normally say. I'm not into Christmas.
We're not toasting with champagne today,
No.
but hey, how about all of us, a bit of a mission, get your head closer to me, sweetheart, as a bit of a mission for the next few weeks, 6 weeks or so until the show is back, why don't we all just watch the show back to back, all 8 episodes of season 2.
25.5, 6 hours, don't worry about it.
And just watch it for pure enjoyment.
Yeah.
Watch it for the interaction and the banter between the characters.
Don't criticise it, don't pick at it, just watch it.
Don't rewind certain scenes because you like certain scenes.
Watch the
whole
lot.
episode. Watch it all in one hit and look at it through fresh eyes and realise what's coming is going to be pretty amazing.
It's going to be epic.
Yeah, we're going to love it.
Epic!
And, Ruth Cassidy, in answer to your question, is it harder to be inspired this season for Vincat fanfic? I don't know that it's harder, it's just different. Because I didn't write, as I've mentioned before, I didn't write my first fanfics until very late in the season. I think I published my first one like at the beginning of May, and episode 22 aired at the last week of May.
Yeah.
So I came into the fanfic around about 3 weeks before the season finished. So I was never inspired by the first 14 episodes in particular, because I didn't
I was
see.
inspired just not to write stories.
So I was inspired from about episode 19 or 20 onwards. So guess what? We're only in episode 8. The inspiration is to come. And yes, I suspect there will be many more in the second half of the season.
And my answer, I think I put on Twitter, is not so much that the inspiration wasn't there. It's like Karin said, it's just different.
Yes.
I do have a few stories, being that my dream states were about what was possible in a dream, not necessarily what was happening in the actual show. But then I started season 2 on reflections and how Vincent was thinking about different things that happened. Now, yes, I sort of stopped doing that, but that's because I got busy in real life and I haven't had the time to sit down and just write a story.
And I'm a bit the same. New job, fully invested in it. Time is now an issue, but we will be back.
But I'm on holidays soon, so I'm hoping something creative will come out of it then. But, I'm still writing the poems and I've got a lot of stuff written that I haven't put out there, but that's because it's, whatever.
We are invested. We won't
absolutely.
stop being invested in Vincat. I mean, they've opened, I think, creative expressions in both of us that have lain dormant for many years.
Yeah.
And I read, and that's another thing too, Beasties, I read so much, see so
You're
much.
a prolific reader.
Yeah, I have a tendency to read because I'm a night owl, so I'll sit at night and I'll read a lot.
I've only read 10 books since I started this.
I think I've read about 500 this year.
Yeah, I've only read 10 this year. So.
But what I'm seeing is a lot of talented Beasties with fan art, with
some of it's
videos.
amazing.
Angie Redding with her videos, Keslin with her videos,
Bella Dustin too.
Faye with
KC.
her poetry. There's Windflower and Judash and you and me and Monique and Steph and a whole pile of people who are really great with the fan fiction that we know of personally within our ranks.
The one that does the Beastie thing.
Carrie?
Yeah, Carrie
Carrie Clark.
KC, yes.
There are so many talented Beasties. There are so many women who we see in groups saying that they've never been inspired like this before in their lives. Look at the creative expression that's come out of all of these women and enjoy that.
Yeah.
And realise that this is a show that's done it for the first time for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Never happened before.
Never been so invested in a show.
Yeah.
Never sat there totally obsessed. Never had our husbands going, get off the computer. How many times I've read that, people have said, I've never been like this with anything before. I've never felt this way about a show. I've never been in this invested in characters, how we all love JT and how we're all hot for Vincent. It's just, we all love Kat. We all want to be, who doesn't want to be Kat? When he's in the arms of Vincent, let me tell you. Me.
My daughter is 20. She looks at me and she
that
rolls. Thank you so much. My daughter is 20, almost 21. She looks at me and she rolls her eyes when I start talking about Beauty and the Beast. Going, oh, here we go again, Mum. And yet I know if she were to sit and watch it, I haven't convinced her yet. I'm still working on it. I know
what sort
that
of beast are you?
I've tried, believe me.
Oh my God.
Do we know how obstinate 20-year-old daughters can be when their mums love something so much that it almost takes over?
Well, that's why they won't watch it, because you like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
But, a show that has the ability to do that
We'll
have its positive, we'll have its negative.
We'll have its ups and downs, ins and outs and roundabouts.
Yes.
Loop to loops.
Loop to loops. Yes, that's the one.
Loop to loops and
I,
loops.
for one, now listen,
Go,
Mr. Kearns, one day when Beauty and the Beast finishes, my idea of a finale, and I did post this on Facebook the other day and got a few chuckles. Okay. Remember that scene when Catherine said to Vincent about having a future? And he said, well, in that case, I can fantasise about our 8 Beastie children. So I have this image that one day in a number of years and a number of seasons that Kat and Vincent will walk off into the sunset with their 8 Beastie toddlers crawling on the ground behind them.
No.
I like that picture.
No.
A happy ending.
My babies with Vincent.
That's not happening. You
All
do
right,
know
fine.
he's... Now, this is the thing, Beasties, we tend to lose track of. You do know he's a fictional television character on a television
If he's
show.
a fictional character on a television show, that means I can make him whatever I want. Vincent, you're mine. me, pick me.
Okay.
Mwah.
I think we've pretty much covered it. Beasties, we're just asking you in
Yeah.
the final analysis to show some respect
Please.
to everybody involved. We still, you know, are the world's best fandom. We may be one of a smaller fandom, but we roar
We're out
really
there.
loudly. And because we roar so loudly,
People listen.
people listen and people look.
So let's
and
let them hear good shit stuff.
Exactly. Let's just let them hear the good.
And let me end with this quote.
Okay, please do.
Okay, let me
Which
think
one? Or all of them?
Yeah. People who are too weak to follow their own dreams will always cast doubt in yours, but only if you listen.
Mm.
So Beasties, don't listen to the hate. Let's shout the good.
Yeah. And let's be a force for good, not evil,
And all that stuff.
and all that stuff. You know, may the Forbes be with you.
May the Forbes be with you, Beastie family.
Yes.
Harder to say than it is to type.
Get back onto the BATB bandwagon. Have some faith. Show some love. And let's go into the second half of the season. Well, it's more than a second half, but you know what I mean. Let's go in from episode 9 and turn this around and be the best we can be in every single way and have some real fun with it. Continue all the madness, continue all the obsession, but do it in a really nice way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace out. Merry Christmas. Happy
Bye
New Year.
on all
See
that
you
stuff.
next year.
Have, yeah, bar humbug and Merry Kiss.